Welcome back, you're watching the news tonight. Well, just when things were beginning to have a welcome change at the Commonwealth Games, here comes another example of utter carelessness. In fact, this time it's the Indian shooting squad that has the most number of gold hopefuls which has left in the lurch. The Indian shooting team, which landed in Delhi from Pune at 8:30 p.m. last evening, had to wait till 5 a.m. this morning to get rooms in the Games village. And not just that, now the controversy surrounding the Games takes a wild twist. The South African envoy claimed that a snake was found in the athletes' room in the village. The African nations have given an ultimatum after this incident. However, the South African envoy says that they will not withdraw from the controversy-marked event. It just doesn't seem like the controversies have no end on the Games there. On to some news from Kashmir now. Well, the curfew has been lifted from Srinagar city and many other districts in the valley. Curfew has been lifted from 5 towns in South Kashmir and Handwara town in the northern Kashmir. This should also pave the way for the schools to reopen tomorrow after a long gap of 3.5 months. That's what the Chief Minister Umar Abdullah announced yesterday. And if a strike doesn't prevent the students from going to school, it will be one of the first signs of the centre's 8-point recharge formula beginning to work in the valley. Education of children has been immensely affected in the Kashmir Valley in the last 3 months of protests and curfews in which over 100 people, including children, have been killed. And in fact, Umar Abdullah said he will convene the Unified Command meeting at the earliest and will try to build a consensus. Well, moving on, heart diseases are more than common amongst Indians. Our food preferences, a sedentary lifestyle and a lack of preventive medical examinations could take the blame for that. And we bring you this report to mark World Heart Day to highlight how bad the situation is in our country and what needs to be done.
Heart disease is widespread in India, and Indians, it is believed, do not take preventive steps and take heart problems seriously only after actually suffering a heart failure. This 73-year-old man was healthy until recently was diagnosed with blocked coronary arteries, but regular checks had helped him stay healthy all along. But there are very few like him.
30 years ago, when we were in the medical school, coronary artery disease was considered a disease of rich nations. And I don't recall having more than 1 or 2 heart attacks in a week or sometimes 2 weeks in an emergency. And now, obviously, over the last 2 decades, the number seems to have gone up enormously.
Topping the list of heart ailments in India is coronary heart disease. Experts forecast that deaths from cardiovascular diseases will touch the 3.75 million mark this year. They also warn of these 2 million deaths will be from heart attacks or coronary artery diseases. Doctors strongly recommend a change in lifestyle for both the young and the elderly.
Coronary artery disease is not something you get overnight. It's a lifetime's accumulation of fat in your arteries. So it starts as young as the age of 10 or 12 or 15. In big cities, children hardly get a chance to play. There are no playgrounds. Most of the playing is virtual in the computer screen. Childhood obesity is enormously a problem.
Doctors advise regular checkup for people as young as 30. But the silver lining is that with medical and surgical advancements, heart patients can now lead a normal life. In Chennai, with Zoya Thomas, Pratiksha for NDTV Hindu.
Well, it is an alarming fact that India carries the burden of topping the list for heart ailments, and Dr. Jacob James Raj tells us the importance of workplace wellness.
Everybody works, so everybody needs to look after the heart. And it's really a very simple thing. We need simple discipline in life, and that's all matters when it comes to heart health. So I've just summarized into 5 small points for you. Diet. You should know what you should eat, and more importantly, what you should not eat, and how much of each. And at workplace, you should know, you should be able to have a healthy diet. So it's both employee and employer's responsibility to, have a healthy diet. So that's for D. Then, risk factor management. So whoever has known risk factors like blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol levels needs to manage that in a very disciplined way. Stress. stress really takes the stress out of you, isn't it? So you need to be well disciplined about things in everyday life. Then your stress levels will come down. And of course, the one big no is smoking and exercise. Small exercises, where you are, where you sit.
Well, those small lifestyle changes can bring you closer to a healthy heart. Well, what do you do when you're unable to get a ticket for the Superstars Endiran? Well, NDTV Hindu plays Master Magician for you to win that magic ticket.